Sorry.
Oh, wow.
Just clearing our throats here.
What a class we had.
Quite the class.
You get a lot of phlegm built up in there, deep down.
Stuff's coming up.
Stuff's coming.
You know how coming up.
Lash out. Hello, everybody.
Welcome to
Mind Body Stuff. Is that bothering you guys?
Like I said, it lasts 2 seconds.
Is it bothering you?
They can fast forward this whole stupid intro. Well, today we are going to talk about... Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. It's kind of a vague concept for us. We're going to just kind of dive into it and see where we go with this one. We just recorded the last podcast yesterday because we're traveling next week. So we really have nothing to say about that one as you haven't listened to it yet at this point.
So we're not going to say...
We're not even going to talk about that one.
Yeah.
So we're going to just jump right into this one.
Yeah.
Which is, we're going to explore kind of the full spectrum of life and being a human. So we're going to talk about the light and the dark, the female and the male,
the sort of extreme thinking. You know, you're either black or white. I hate to use those colors, but kind of one way or the other. There's not a lot of in between sometimes.
Yes.
That type of thinking.
Yeah. So we're just going to kind of go into this subject and see where we end up. But I think there's a lot to explore within this topic. And I think a lot of it really ties into Oula. So much of the work that we do with Oula does explore these different parts of who we are. The masculine side of females and males, the feminine side of females and males, the full spectrum of light within who we are as individuals and who we are collectively.
And you made that great post today on Facebook. About our song "Girl Gang."
Yeah, should we just dive into this now?
I think that. Now that you're sort of talking about the feminine and masculine, that really ties into what you're talking about.
Yeah. So, right now in our playlist we have a lot of girl power, female empowerment songs. We've got Girl Gang, we've got Tribe, we've got
Lash Out.
Yeah, but that's not just female.
No, but I do. Sometimes I do associate. I probably shouldn't, but I do because I feel like she begins the song with like I have words and they're kind of stuck in my throat.
Yeah,
and of course that can be for males too. But I just feel in our patriarchal society sometimes that we're told not to say some things as females, and so that really hits me when that lyric comes up for whatever reason.
I can totally see that. Yeah. And I know I've heard that for some it can be, maybe it seems counter to the message of Oula that Oula is for everyone. And so I just wanted to kind of clear that up. I've been thinking about it a lot because the last thing that I would want to do is make anyone feel like Oula is not for them. However, my purpose and my passion is empowering women. And I stand true to that, and I deeply believe in it. And I really believe that when women understand and value their own self-worth and rise up to their power and potential, everybody benefits. It's not threatening to men. It's nothing against men. When we can come into a greater balance between the feminine and the masculine energies, and the feminine and masculine leadership, then I truly believe that we will live in a better world. And if you think about how a pendulum swings, you have to put a little more force behind it if you want things to get moving. That's how you create this movement. So maybe you don't feel a strong connection to this song, or maybe you're not a female, or maybe you don't feel this need for power or whatever it is. You still have to think about that woman that may be in your class who feels voiceless or feels powerless, or who has lost her self-worth through whatever experiences her life has given her. And songs like this, even if it's not always about you, and that's the thing, it's about the collective, it's about the community. And when we can realize that a song like this may give a woman a little bit more confidence or a little bit more belief to make movement in her life, to be able to step into her power, to be able to make change in her life, then that's who we're doing this song for. And we can empower each other. When we are empowered, we empower each other in a healthy way. Mm-hmm. So I just want to think about this, and I want to talk about it, and I just don't want anyone to feel excluded, but I think it just needs to be really clear and be cleared up that songs like this are not anti-male, and they're not about anything except really giving women a safe space to rise and to believe in their power.
And don't you think that, we need to sort of establish that equilibrium in our culture that males have had the voice for quite a while, or the power
Absolutely.
For quite a while. And so, even as we got some feedback from Kaylee's post from a male, and I loved how he said, it was sort of saying that, that women do need we need to encourage women to find their voices and to step up. We need to hear more of the feminine sometimes in this particular culture.
Mm-hmm, exactly. And he even went as far as saying that Oula is a place that he gets to practice being a more whole person and to try out things that society just says aren't for him either. And that is the destruction of the patriarchal society, is that it's not healthy for men either. It teaches men that they shouldn't have feelings, or that they can't be soft, or that the responsibility does fall on their shoulders for many things. And that's not healthy. And so I love that he was able to recognize and acknowledge that. And yeah, so I'm so glad that he commented.
Yeah.
That's exactly what my hope is. And I feel like he just nailed it. So
practice,
thanks, Adam.
Yeah, that's really good, Adam. Practice being a more whole person. And how nice for men, too, to be able to come and practice their feminine for a little while.
Yeah, and there are so many songs in Oula where we practice the masculine.
So many. Yeah, so many. Oh my gosh.
In almost definitely in every single Oula class, you will get that balance between the yin and the yang, the soft and the hard, the female and the male, the powerful and the gentle. All of these elements are there because we do want to just really... So when I think about it, if we think about us as individuals, I don't like to think about growth as necessarily moving forward, but expanding outward in a circle, not an oval or a lopsided shape, expanding out into this full being. And that encompasses everything. It encompasses the female, the male, the light, the dark, the everything.
The yin, the yang.
The yin,
everything.
the yang. And one of the things that I do love about Oula is that we get a safe space to experience this. Mm-hmm. A safe space.
Yes. And I like how now we can segue into the light and dark issue of Oula too, which we touched on a little bit, I think, in our last podcast. You have to listen to that. But we were just talking about this earlier today.
Listen to that. Oh, you got your podcast voice on.
It's exciting.
You gotta listen to that.
It's exciting. But how we were just talking about this just before we started. But as a counselor, I work with a lot of people that feel like, in our culture, we're really, we really like the light. We really like stay positive, stay happy.
Yes.
Keep marching forward. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, all that kind of stuff. But unfortunately, of course, there are times in our lives where we are in the dark, or the dark comes to visit us. We don't have control over that sometimes. And like, I have a client whose parent is dying right now, and he was feeling so bad about feeling bad. He was saying, my dad is dying. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, and I feel really sad about that. And I'm like, well, you should.
Yeah.
This is a time where, you're going to have to explore that part, about endings and death and losing someone you love, all the darkness and sadness involved in that. But he was feeling guilty for just feeling that way. So on top of feeling bad about feeling bad, he felt bad about feeling bad about feeling bad.
Totally.
It was like a magnified bad. But we need both the light and the dark again, to make ourselves sort of whole and appreciate this whole experience we get to have on this place, on this planet.
Yes.
You know, and even in Oula, we get that pushback sometimes where it's like, we just want the happy songs. I just want to feel happy. And I'm like that. I like the fun songs for sure. But of course, in order to really have a fully balanced class, we have to have the darker, the deeper songs too. Because those songs make us appreciate the light songs too. There's Mickey's voice again.
All your voices.
Mickey's feeling good now. Is that Mickey or who is that? Uh-oh.
Oh my God. Mind Body Stuff with Kaylee, Bernice, Mickey, Brenda,
Barbara.
That's right.
There's the NPR person too. Penelope.
Oh, yeah, like it.
Anyway.
Have you guys felt that way? Like, it's just such a shame in this society that we really struggle with holding space also for people who are in the darkness.
Yeah.
You know, so often we're like, it's okay. It's okay. It's going to be okay.
Here's a tissue.
Yeah, exactly. Here, stop crying. It'll be okay. Stop crying.
Stop.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes it's not okay. Sometimes it's not okay.
And it's almost like we're not taught. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like we feel so uncomfortable. I do sometimes.
Yeah.
Even as a therapist, I feel like,
Right.
How do I talk to this person now? You know, that this
Sure.
has happened. Is it appropriate for me to bring it up? Will it make them cry harder? Or will it make them more sad? It's weird that we're not, it's so not modeled in our culture in a weird way that we don't know how to do it. We're afraid of not doing it right.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. And I think you're totally right about that. It's not very widely modeled for us in our culture. And so it's difficult. But I think that's one of the things that we try to do with Oula is we try to say, you know, this is a space that you are held and you're safe and you can feel everything that you need to feel. Now, some days you're not going to be super affected by the sad songs or whatever it is, but there's going to be the time that you do need it, or there's going to be the person in there who does need it. And even just being okay with the darker emotions or this, like, if we just want to call it the darkness, I mean, these the times or the songs, whatever, that aren't just the happy light songs, then what I think this experience can help us do through Oula, which then we can translate to other parts of our life, is just kind of getting comfortable with the darkness.
Yeah.
Can you get comfortable in the context of Oula?
Yes.
So in your body, to the music, moving, it's powerful. Can you get a little bit more and more and more comfortable with darkness in this space so that as you transition into different outside of the context of Oula, you can then be better being in the space of darkness or holding that space for others who are in their own darkness. And I think that's that's a really important thing that we try to do with Oula.
Oh, that is, it's so well done too, because you don't have to really use words.
You don't have to use words.
But you can just use your movement and your emotion and your body.
And your presence.
And your presence, right, your presence.
I'm gonna stay in this space with
stay
you.
here
I'm not
with
gonna
you.
check out. I'm gonna stay embodied.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. I'm not just here with you. It is moving through my body with you.
And you can see that in the
You can see it.
person's
I mean, it's
body.
visceral. You can feel it. You can see it. You are staying in that space that is often uncomfortable in our society.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, I want to talk about this. We did a song today that I've had, just two different people get triggered by this song for whatever reason. It's called The Spark, which I love. It's all about, like, sharing your spark and finding your spark. It's such a great song. But these two people, both people, they don't know each other. Every time they hear this song, it taps into something deep in them, and they feel very, very sad. And it makes them cry. And not just cry, kind of sob cry.
Like weeping.
Yeah, kind of a strong, visceral crying.
Oh, so more than weeping.
More than weeping. I'm all strong.
Like, no, go harder.
Deeper.
Go harder with those tears.
And I did it in class maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, and one of the ladies was in class, and she said, after class, she said, And I saw her leave when the song started. And I didn't realize, she told me after class, that she's affected by it. But I saw her leave, and I'm like, oh. And then she came back partway through the song, and she danced it, and she was crying. And then after class, she said, I heard it come on, and I thought to myself, I can't do it. I can't do this song. And she stepped out, and then she said to herself, I'm going to do it. And she came back in, and she did it. And it was almost allowing herself, one, to realize for whatever reason this song is triggering her. And two, to sit with it for a second and see what she wanted to do with that. Because, of course, it would be fine to sit out and just sob if you need to sob. And then putting herself back in to fully feel whatever that emotion was, that deeper emotion maybe underneath that sadness, whatever that was triggering.
Sure.
And so how wonderful in Oula that you can do that with just towards the end of a playlist with just a random song, and someone is then processing their sadness, some part of their darkest being that either they don't feel, I don't know, worthy or loved, or they don't feel their spark maybe, or they're afraid to feel it. I don't know, but again, it's that diving into that darkness for that person, and that wouldn't happen if we were just having a discussion in the front room.
Right.
Like how fascinating that. And in both of these people that have it happen are always surprised that this song does that to them.
Yeah, which is it's so interesting.
Fascinating.
It is fascinating. And also another part of, I think, the darkness is if we refer to it as like the shadow. And a lot of times this shadow can come from our past. And like I've read it described as like, and I think we've talked about it this way too, it's like a backpack. You know, and it's like it kind of weighs us down. We don't necessarily notice. It's just on our body. It's this backpack, and it's this heaviness that we're bringing, and kind of opening up that bag or opening that backpack. You know, in a lot of the work we do, you talk about it as like what's behind that door. So what are you carrying? I kind of like the backpack analogy though, because it goes with you everywhere, and you feel the weight of it.
Yes,
but it's like, okay, can we explore? Can we take a look in there and just first like look at it and see what it is?
What is that?
And then can we expose that to the light?
Yes. Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
And shed light onto this stuff. And maybe all it does is it gives us a little bit more self-awareness, or it can allow for healing, or it can, you know, help transform our lives in different ways. But I think when we, again, the key word is safe space. When we can do this in a safe space, whether in safe circles of people or safe Oula classes, then we really start to recognize that everybody has these shadows. Everybody has shadows. Everybody is carrying around disappointment and shame and embarrassment and guilt and all of these things that kind of make up our darkness or sadness or whatever it is. And we all, again, that's part of the human experience, the richness that it is to be a human. And oftentimes we experience transformation when we start to look at the shadow. It's, in my opinion, not that common to have real transformation when we try to always stay in the light.
Yeah. And it's, again, you don't have equilibrium.
Yeah.
You're slightly off balance if you're always on that one side.
Yeah. No, yeah. Either side.
Either side. On either side. We kind of want to, it's, you know, and we're going to bonk back and forth depending on where we're at.
I think when the dark scares us,
well, yeah.
then we're not willing to go over there. And I think part of it, and that's why it needs to be in a safe space, but part of it is just feeling like I'm not going to let this stuff
weigh me down
or scare me anymore. Like, right. It's part of the human experience to have darkness.
It's
totally part of life.
Is.
I mean, let's talk about Star Wars even. It's just a very... Is that a too big of a jump?
No, that's good. That's what it was all about. That Star Wars is about the light and the dark, the hero journey, and all that stuff.
Yes.
This is all Jungian stuff too, by the way. This is kind of cool.
Yeah, but you have to confront the darkness. You have to.
You have to. And the thing is, even when you try not to, when you try to just stay in the light, you'll feel the dark kind of tugging at you.
Totally.
You're always like, I got my foot, and then you're like, no, let go. And there's a lot of psychic energy of like trying to pull the foot out of the dark, where it's like, you know what, don't use all that energy trying to pull your foot out of the dark. Just step into it. Take a deep breath and step in. And then take a look around. That doesn't mean you don't even have to do anything with it. Just look at it.
Yes.
And sometimes that in and of itself is healing enough.
Yes.
Yes. I think also in our culture we're like, then we need to do something with it.
Oh, good point.
What shall I do with it? It's like sometimes you don't need to do anything with it. Just step in there and sit with it. Mm-hmm. That's totally fine too. It's like, again, the other client whose parent is dying. It's okay. Heart is broken.
Yeah.
That's what it should be broken.
Yes.
Your parent is dying. Sit in there. Yes. Sit with that brokenness.
Yes. Yeah.
And you don't have to fix it.
Yeah. And I think too, we try to be so helpful with one another. Like, okay, how do we make this better for you?
Yes.
Oh, this is happening right now. Okay, let's try to fix it. How do we fix it?
Right.
And I think that is just that is usually from a place of good intention.
Such really good intention. And of course we want everyone to feel better. We hate to feel people, have people in pain. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, that looks like so painful that you're struggling with all that. Mm-hmm. But even that is probably better to say than like, can I fix it?
Right.
So it's like, it looks like it's hard. That looks like it's very painful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I remember, and I've told Kaylee this 100 times when I was in training.
Oh, I love this story. It's such a good one, though.
And we were, we'd have a two-way mirror. It was the old days. And I had a client in the room with me. I was not graduated yet. And my mentor was outside watching on the two-way mirror. And my client was very sad about something I don't remember. And she was just crying and crying. And so, of course, I got up and I hand her a tissue. Like, here you go. Mm-hmm. And after session, my mentor says, so why'd you hand her a tissue? And I'm like, well, because she was crying. And, when someone's crying, you hand them a tissue. And my mentor said, but how do you think it made her feel about her emotion right then? Because sometimes by just handing the tissue, even though you're meaning it as a good gesture, you're also sort of telling her that you're uncomfortable with her tears. Because she could grab a tissue if she wanted it. Mm-hmm. It's right there. Yeah. And it kind of blew my mind.
I've thought about that so much since you said that. And that's also similar to an exercise, active listening, which for those of you who attend our workshops, retreats, this one is gonna be popping up here soon, where you literally just sit with somebody and you pick the topic, whatever the topic is, and one person, and you look at each other and you sit pretty close, and one person just talks about the topic, and whoever's listening, you don't nod, you don't say yes, you don't make any sort of noises or nods or sounds, you just hold space for them. And because when we do things like yes or nod, you're giving an affirmation like, keep telling me more, or yes, I agree with you, yes, or I feel the same way, like this is mutual. By giving the tissue, it's like, I want to make it better, or by adding your yeses, it's like, yes, you're normal in the way that you're feeling, because I've felt that way too. Right. So basically taking all of that out and just holding space. And just letting the person talk and letting it just continue wherever it needs to go for them. It's not guided by your affirmations or by your gestures.
Because if you are guiding folks when you do any of that stuff.
Yes.
Inadvertently or advertently, if you're planning on it or not planning on it,
Mm-hmm. Now, I don't think that's always the best way to have conversations. I think it's a good exercise because a friend posted this on Facebook about active listening, and when somebody's talking about something painful in their life, that we shouldn't kind of relate to them with our own stories. Mm-hmm. That's it was called like narcissistic or something like that. Mm-hmm. I, however, disagree, though, because when I am in really painful situations, I like to feel like I'm not alone. I like to know that what I'm experiencing, that I'm not the first human being to have ever experienced this before, and it makes me feel less alone. So I'm not saying that we should always be in this space of active listening, but I think it's a really fascinating experiment and practice.
Mm-hmm. And I think you bring up a good point, because it really is a balance. So
I think it's a balance.
Yeah, you folks have been with people where maybe you're like, and then I'm telling a story, and maybe you're saying, and then my dog died, and you're talking about how your doggy died, and you're going through the process, and suddenly your friend interjects and is like, well, my cat died 2 years ago.
Yeah, and
and then suddenly you're like, I didn't finish the story about my dog that just died. It's almost like you feel unrecognized in that moment.
Yes.
So there is that beautiful balance.
But however, if you're like, my dog died and you're crying, and then the person says nothing to you, then you're like, do you have no feelings? Don't you see that my dog died and I'm hurting?
I have no empathy. I'm active
So I think
listening.
you're right. I think it's a balance. That's why I think this active listening thing, it's not the way to be in conversation with somebody else.
In relationship either. Like you have to use it, you have to be aware of when you're using it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. But I do think it's a cool experiment. Can I just hold space with someone while they're talking about something that may be uncomfortable or that goes towards the darkness? Can I just hold space? Can I just sit there and let them just say what they need to say?
Well, and the other thing is, I just thought of something, as therapists, all of us out there in therapy world, some of us are like, I'm a very gifted therapist. I've had many people sort of come out of the darkness and go into the world and the light and be very effective. But you know what they found through research is really one of the most effective things about therapy?
What?
Is just so someone gets to talk for 1 hour.
Oh, no way.
Yep. And the other person just holds that space and listens. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times, and I'll do that, you guys. Like, I just had this the other day where someone was just talking and talking and talking and talking. And I was like, I really was just sort of nodding, but being very present, not interjecting my, just kind of, yeah, oh, yes, that's terrible. At the end, she's like, oh my God, I feel so much better.
Oh, yeah.
But really, that people just want to be heard.
They want to be heard.
And there's all that research about just telling your story.
Oh,
remember?
Sure, yes.
That is so healing in and of itself.
It's so healing to tell your story.
I just told my story.
Yeah.
And then the person's like, and I'm like, I did nothing.
But in a way, in a way, that's like unpacking your backpack a little bit.
Yes. You're
just
like,
by telling your story. It's like you don't have to carry around the weight of your story.
Right. And
anymore.
you're like, I have an appointment with Kaylee today at, 12:30. I've got my heavy backpack. Mm-hmm. And you're there and you're waiting. And then I lay out, I go, okay. And I'm going to unpack all my stuff. And you're just going to be there. And we're going to look at my stuff together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you're not going to look weird. You're not going to be like, oh,
what is that?
That is a problem. You're just going to be like, yeah, oh, yes. Kind of affirming. And then I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
I got to unpack a bunch of my stuff.
Right.
And I might even leave some of it here.
Yeah, exactly. I might not want to put some of it back into my backpack at the end of
this.
And
you're, as my therapist, you're like, that's okay.
That's fine.
You can leave that stuff here.
Yeah. And I think also part of the darkness is there's like a lot of shame with what we have in our backpack.
Tons of shame.
I think when we can bring shame out into the open, it's so valuable.
Oh.
Because some of the things that I've been most ashamed about when I've told people that I know love me, it makes me feel so much better. Mm-hmm. Because then it's not this like deep, dark secret that I'm holding anymore. That it's like, oh my gosh, I'm a terrible person. When I can free myself of my shame story, I become lighter. And it doesn't have the power over me that it has when it's hidden in the darkness.
No, and remember, it's like something's pulling. The darkness is pulling on your leg.
She's pulling on my leg right now.
Pulling on her leg.
Literally pulling on my leg.
And so you're using a ton of psychic energy to keep go my leg. So a lot of energy is going into that versus just like, okay, whatever.
You know what? Here
I'll step right into my shame.
Yeah.
Here it is. Mm-hmm. Don't need to pull my leg. I don't need to pull back.
Right.
And I'm going to share with you. Mm-hmm. And then you're like, whew.
It just releases its power on you. And I think that's why it's important we go to the dark, because when we confront it, it loses its power over us.
Yes. Right.
I think that's like, at least for me in my personal experience.
Even when we just like lay it on the table.
Yeah, just bringing it out into the light.
Bringing it out into the light, then it's like...
Yeah, and you're right. We don't necessarily have to do anything about it. It's just bringing it to the light.
That is like the biggest gift you can give yourself.
Thing you can do.
Yeah. And that's what we do in Oula a lot of times without having to vocalize. I mean, we can with the lyrics of the song if we want, but we get to dance, we get to move, we get to hear these wonderful stories through the artists that create this music. And we get to have release that way too.
We do.
So there's a myriad of releases available to us in terms of unpacking our backpacks.
Yeah. So we danced to the song Cringe today, which is a song that left our top 10, I don't know, a couple months ago now. And I forgot how powerful that song is. Like we had 30 people screaming these really powerful lyrics, and one of the main lyrics, especially at the end, he sings, "Do I make you cringe?"
I forgot that.
Do I make you cringe? And it's weird because I love screaming that lyric, but honestly, every single class, I'm kind of screaming it for a different reason.
Yes.
Sometimes I'm screaming it for myself and maybe something that I feel ashamed about, or maybe I'm screaming it for somebody else's story, or maybe it's like every day that I do that song, it almost takes on a different energy for me. But I think like that song is really like bringing the darkness out into the light. And when we can all scream together, do I make you cringe? It's kind of saying, it's like this acknowledgement of like, everybody has darkness.
Well, and it's kind of like talking about your shame.
It's absolutely talking about your shame.
It's like,
sometimes
do I make you cringe?
Sometimes
the things that I do,
or the way that I
the
look,
way that
or
I am,
the way that I move, or how I, or how I live, or whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
Anything that I'm feeling like, honestly, not that great about myself. Sometimes I'm like, do I make you cringe? And sometimes I'm singing it to myself. Like, but I think it's just like bringing it to the forefront. Just bring it to the front. It loses its power when you just say, come here, I can face this.
Right. That's right. Because you're not using all that energy to put it down. Or to hide it. That takes a lot of energy. I'm telling you, folks, it takes a ton of energy to keep it down. Or to carry it in your backpack. It's very, very heavy. That's heavy stuff.
It is.
So it's like, bring it to the light if you can. And I'd totally forgotten what a wonderful song that is.
That was good. That song was good.
I couldn't believe how we remembered all the lyrics.
Like everybody was screaming the lyrics.
So loud.
For like most of the entire song.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
I was like, I forgot this song.
It was a powerful one for people.
So.
But yeah, so I think, I hope that Oula can be that space for you. And if you're not there yet, you're not there yet. And that's totally fine. But Oula will meet you where you're at.
I just love that. She said that the other day. You have to listen to that podcast.
Was it in the podcast?
Yeah, that was yesterday when we recorded.
Last week for you guys.
Yeah.
Yesterday for us.
Yesterday for us.
But, time moves faster.
I just loved how you said that. Oula will meet you where you're at. And really that's there's been that pushback about, well, Oula's not fun, or
I don't like the song Cringe, I'm not going to teach it.
Yeah, I don't want to teach that song. And it's like, and I love what Kaylee said. She was like, well, Oula will meet you where you're at. It's okay. We don't have to have a fight about it.
Right.
It's like, where are you at? And Oula will be there for you. You just want to dance around like a mad, 5-year-old? Then do it.
Right.
Do it. Oula will let you do that.
Do you want to process the death of your mom? Process the death of your mom.
Do it. You can do that. Do you want to process?
You want to work on your physical fitness? Get in shape.
Get in shape.
Whatever. Yeah. Whatever you want.
How amazing is that?
But I do think it's important to know what the deeper intention and goal as far as why this company exists.
Exactly.
I think it's important to know that. And I think it's important you guys know that. And I think it's really important our instructors know that. What is the deeper meaning to this, and what's the change we're trying to make in people's lives? How do we want to affect change? How do we want to serve you guys? And I do think that a really big part of Oula is this light and dark, living our full lives, not being confined to who we think we should be, not being confined to one side of the spectrum. We are all things. We are all colors. We are very, very complex beings, and it's okay to be that in the space of Oula. You don't have to be a female who only has female traits. You don't have to be any certain thing. You can just show up and be you.
Yeah.
And we'll meet you there.
We'll meet you with no pretense and no judgment, that we have a space for just a little bit of time where we can be authentic and not worry about what the ramifications are of that. Because it's hard in our real world sometimes to be authentic.
And going back to the fact that it's not modeled very often, like,
it's not,
if we don't have the example of how this looks, then A, it's going to be hard, but B, it's necessary. And so if Oula can be this space where you feel like you see other people modeling this and you actually start to model this for yourself, then that's how we can start to bring it out to other areas of our lives and other... Gosh, my voice.
Another... I'm like, who invited Grandma to the party? Oh, okay, clear that out, ma'am.
Well...
Some lemon water for you, perhaps.
Sorry, everyone.
Anyway, I don't know why I think that's funny. I'm sorry about that.
Well, she's just bringing the darkness to the forefront. It's totally fine. I'm sitting with it. I'm not. But anyways, yes. Thank you guys for listening. I hope that you can use Oula to help you just grow into exactly who you are meant to be, and recognize that your darkness and your shadow doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you any less worthy or unlovable. It actually makes you way, way, way more cool.
Yeah, and we're all searching for equilibrium in our lives. And there are times where it'll be easier and times where it'll be harder. And all of that is totally okay, because this is our journey in this place, and it's all about curiosity and growth and expansion and asking ourselves, where am I at? Where am I at right now? And it's okay to be the light, and it's okay to be the dark, and it's okay and best probably to be in the middle.
Love you guys. Have a great day.
Bye.
Mwah.